Exercising on a lymph kidney cleanse. I just started Great Fast. Oh man, you guys are kicking butt. Day 4, and this has been a few days ago. And trying to do the full 40 days. My God, let me bow down to you. Respect you, dear man. Head it up. I was told by someone that the lymph and kidneys won't cleanse if I exercise daily. No, you can exercise, but I'm saying if you're not filtering through the kidneys, you don't see the sediment. Boy, I wouldn't over-exercise. Just been my personal experience with training and working with a lot of pros. Nah, I would be moderate, and as I get my filtration, then pick it up. You know, the right time for the right thing, you know, and that's what you have to look at is, are you filtering? Because you don't want to create all this acidosis, and you're already trying to remove acidosis. You know, it's just acid on top of acid on top of acid. So you want, once you get your lymphs moving and you get your kidneys filtering, well, tear it up. Absolutely. That's the only thing I'm saying. Be cautious, because, and a lot of you have already seen this, is that with too much activity in a very acidic medium doesn't play any more than give you more acidic mediums until you move lymph. And once you're moving lymph and you're hydrating properly, then of course tear it up, obviously. I like to exercise 4 or 5 times a week. Sounds good. For about half an hour. Sounds good to me. Not bad. Will my kidneys start filtering the lymph if I exercise? If you're doing the raw and doing everything, there shouldn't be any reason why they shouldn't. The exercise isn't going to stop them from filtering. But the exercise, I'll say this. Think about this. We talked about this. When you start activity, you remember your adrenals shift to epinephrine and norepinephrine. That's your adrenalins. That's the dilation of the vascular system. That's getting more blood. Heart rate goes up. You know, affects the thyroid. Everybody starts giving you more oxygen and more blood to cells because you're pumping up the muscles. You want more stamina. You want more agility. You want more power. You want more activity. But you can't have elimination with that. Elimination comes when you settle down and rest. And then your dopamines and your acetylcholines go up, remember? I know that to heal kidneys, one must rest a lot. Oh, I didn't sleep 10 hours a day. Oh, that's a lot. Boy, if I slept 10 hours, I sleep 3-4 hours a night, period. That's it. I can't get any more than that. I'm meditating, I'm up, I'm trying to overview, I'm trying to, you know, I got a lot of reports, I got a lot of things to do. I sleep 10 hours a day and take your kidney. Ooh, that's a lot of hours. We'll soon be taking adrenals. That's going to help you maybe not sleep as much. Get your thyroid and your adrenals up and you won't need 10. You'll need 8 and 7 and 6. Some of you are having a hard time now. I'm a bit depressed that my kidneys haven't started filtering. Don't be depressed, man. Don't be depressed, high sugar fruit. Some people are taking it. Look at Indiana Banana. Now, his tumor is almost gone, but he hasn't seen a lot of sediment yet. Imagine when he sees sediment. So he is filtering, but not as near as good as he could. And he had a lot of sharp pains in his right kidney for a couple of days. What a healing crisis that was. And of course now his kidneys are going to start functioning better, and as they are. His tumor is getting smaller and smaller now, and everything's coming around. But taking time, you know, and that's the issue. Healing is a time-intensive thing. Don't get upset. You'll be okay. We'll even feel more sad if I have to give up don't give up your exercise, sweetheart. You don't have to. Or high sugar fruit. Male or female. Demonic symphonic. Dr. Morse, do you recommend how someone had shingles? Oh, I went over that already. I think I already went over these questions. Oh, yeah. I don't have a new version. Thanks, JG. You know, this is, again, why I'm doing this channel, is so all of you can be healers for me, because I can't do it all. You know, I'm one little guy here, and you guys really are kicking butt. I'm so proud of you guys. Never have I, except for my school all these years, and disappointed at the amount of healers that haven't turned out. I'd say only 10 to 20% of my class actually turns out to be real powerful healers, but I'll say that, and maybe more, there might be 50% of them, but a lot of people come for themselves, a lot of lay people, but there's a lot of people. I've had a lot of medical doctors. I had one medical doctor from Africa, and whoo, is he kicking butt. Let me see here. Does anyone know the specific? Does anyone know the specifics of a grape fast? I'm on day 3, but I am eating an enormous amount of grapes every day. Eat all you want. Just whatever you feel might be what your body wants, however little or however much. I could polish off the oranges. I've told you that before. I could do a bushel basket a day, piece of cake. Well, I do 15 oranges basically at a setting. And these were grapefruit-sized oranges minimally. I wish I had some of those oranges. I wish I had taken pictures. But I lived in my van. I had nothing. No radio, no TV, only books to read. Living in a Volkswagen van, you don't have nothing, let me tell you. I had nothing, which didn't bother me. I didn't want nothing. I'm not a materialist thinker. I could care less. That's too clogging and suffocating. My parents were antique dealers. At least my grandmother was. And her house was like, oh, don't walk there. Ooh, don't hit that. It's like, oh, all the pretty cut glass and all the cranberry glass and the old carnival glass and the milk glass. See, I know about some antiques, too. She had beautiful oriental rugs, too. Some Persians. Ooh, beautiful stuff. But it was like claustrophobic material-wise, This is Anna Marie. Thank you for being on her. Oh, thanks, honey. Appreciate that. Got that message on another one. Thank you. I'm going to have to cut it here a little bit. Hey, Doc. Mango Mark. Hadn't talked to you in a while, Mango Mark. How are you? Just check in to say I love the segmented videos. Oh, thanks. I'm going to keep doing that and going to add on to them. So hoping in the future there'll be kick butt for everyone that has a problem. They can look that up. They find their answers. And but I think all of this is valuable too. I don't know what you guys think, but each one of your cases can help someone else out there that might be standing back looking, but what you're asking is relating to them too. We're all one. So I am so glad that each one of you are asking these questions. Apologize that I can't get to all of them as good as I could, because you see, I flap my jaws a little too much. Oh, let me see here. Kept up good work, by the way. Finished the lemonade fast at 42 days. 42 days. Let me take a minute, Mango Mark, and give due respect. You kicked my butt. Let me give you respect for that. 42 days on lemon. Felt like a lemon, did you? I could only do 29, and I was going, no, I can't do another class. Oh, man, 42 days wrung me out pretty good, didn't I? I bet it did, man. I needed to put some weight back on, so I jumped off the wagon. Well, that's okay. I did go. I mean, when you jump, don't jump too far, because you did so good, you don't want to jump too far off the wagon. So, doing mostly raw with some homemade vegetable soup. Perfect. That's not too far of a jump. Good then. Sending much love to you too. Keep an eye on that Chris. I got to keep an eye on that Chris. The Hollywood, Chris. Thanks, Mango Mark. Appreciate it, bud. And this is Trip Rice, 69. It'd be interesting someday for me to hear your stories behind your names. What should you do for hyperthyroidism? Mother's test results suggested Graves' disease, according to Doc, although she bears no symptoms of a thyroid problem. She does have bouts of insomnia and slight low calcium levels. They gave her 3 options: thyroidectomy, radioactive iodine, well, that's a good one, and a PTU. My mother has decided against all 3 and has chosen to juice herself to a cure. Any advice would be appreciated. You betcha, man. In a hyperthyroid case, I really never do touch the thyroid for a while, and I've commented this on other videos because and this is particularly true in a goiter situation where I'm dealing with a goiter. I don't really try to pick up thyroid function in that I'm picking up waste and going to increase goiter size. In other words, in anything hyperthyroid, anything hyper simply means there's something inspiring hyperactivity. Could be a chemical, could be acids. Any of these things could hyperstimulate the performance of cells. Acidosis can hyperstimulate and then eventually go down. So just inflammation, just that act can hyperstimulate or spasm things. Any heavy metals, chemicals, things like this can hyperstimulate the function. Iodine can hyperstimulate the function of the thyroid. You can get iodine, inorganic iodine, from many sources. So there's many dyes and things that people subject themselves to that consume foods with dyes, and these can hyperstimulate the function of endocrine glands. The only true remedy to a hyper case, detoxification. That golden key again. that unlocks that magic door to wellness and health and vitality. And it's the same with hyperactivity. Thyroidectomy, the guy ought to lose his license right off for being stupid. You don't take people's thyroids out. And then, of course, now here's another clue, guys. Listen to this. She is low in calcium, so do we have a little parathyroid problem with the thyroid? Absolutely. She could have basically hyperthyroidism and have hypoparathyroidism, and it all be coming from the pituitary. So you just clean the body out and go at the body, get the body healthy, go after the colon, because you know that relationship we've talked about between the transverse bowel and the pituitary. So you just go after health of the body in a hyper state, because if you pick up a gland, if you said, I'm going to go after that pituitary, you could really hyperstimulate that thyroid. Better just to detoxify first. That hyperactivity will go down to normal and everybody's good. Then you can work on the weakness. But get all that, any metals, any chemistry in there that's hyperstimulating tissue, that's a detoxification. I never touch those anymore, but detox, and it always works. Always works. Your mom will be fine. All this crap he was talking about, I suggest he does that to himself. And then see how happy he's going to be when he gets older without a thyroid, parathyroid gland. All for the sake of, that's the kind of mentality the allopathic people, a lot of them have. Basically, you could just cut half off. Instead of doing a whole thyroidectomy, you could just cut half of it out. Canadian war god. I once was so addicted to all these mangoes. Yeah, I've never heard of those kind of mangoes. It's all I wanted. I would have 2 meals of them every day. See, I hate talking about fruit. I hate talking about mangoes. I hate talking about watermelon. Because I can't get it. And it's like I'm drooling after I talk to you guys, and I go to the store, I'm going, okay. Rock Singa. I guess that I love that monkey. Oh my God. I hope that's a joint in his mouth and not a cigarette. Happy New Year to all of you guys. Sun consciousness. Dr. Morse, thanks for committing all the herbal schools. Yeah, I got in the back of my book, I